Hey everybody, welcome to DromeFood. I'm your host Nolan Silverstein, and today we're going to be preparing cream of celery soup. Let's show you what you need to cook along at home. You're going to need flour, 1 head of celery, onion, butter, vegetable stock, milk, and fresh thyme. So the first thing that I want to do is get rid of the leaves of the celery and the inner part, which is a little bit thinner, called the heart. So I'm going to take my celery, I'm just going to pull until we get to these sort of pale-looking inner stalks, which we don't want to use for this recipe. You can use some of it as a garnish, but you don't want to use it as an actual ingredient. So I'm going to line up just where the tops are. There we go. There's our celery ready to go. It needs to be washed. And we are going to mince our celery. So we're going to take a long knife and we're just going to down all of these ribs, and I'm going to start chopping. It's always good to chop parallel to your body. Yeah, there we go. There's all of our celery ready for our soup. And take that and put it into a bowl for now. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is take this pan and put it onto a medium-low heat and start melting 2 tablespoons of butter that we're going to add into a saucepan that is now warming up. So we're going to melt this butter. All right, next up I need 1/4 cup of onion. So I'm going to have to cut this onion in half. We're going to peel this onion by cutting the top section off. I'm going to measure this. We want to dice 1/4 cup. So here's 1/4 cup of onion. It's going to go in with our melting butter. Okay, next up, we want 1/2 teaspoon of fresh thyme. Here we have it. It's very easy to sort of peel fresh thyme. You're just going to grab at the top and sort of peel off pieces. Give that a few chops. We're going to add that to our pan with our butter and our onions. And turn this heat up to around medium. And at this point, we can also add all of our celery. Don't stir your celery yet, though. Just allow those onions to cook on the bottom of the pan with the celery on top. We're going to do this for 4 minutes. All right, so I'm going to stir up the celery and these onions. So we're going to turn our heat up a little bit higher to about a medium heat now. Medium-high heat. I have it on 5 on my electric burner. Now, if you have a gas burner, it may be a little bit different. Okay, so I'm going to take 1/4 cup of flour, and we're basically making a roux. So our flour is going to go into our pan. Just sort of sprinkle that on. Stir this in. That flour should start to coat all of your vegetables. Let this cook for 30 seconds, and then we're going to add our stock. It's time to add our vegetable stock. Go into our pan. We're going to mix this thoroughly and turn our heat up to as high as it goes. We're going to let this come up to a boil and then reduce to a simmer. So to finish our soup, we have 1 cup of milk. Stir that into our thickened soup. Stir that up. We'll turn this up to about a medium heat and cook for 2 minutes, and then we'll be ready to serve. There you go. Cream of celery soup. Serve that with oyster crackers. You're watching Dromebox.com, and this has been another episode of DromeFood.